Hey everyone, we've got a brand new screen that Tesstudio sent over. Check this out. F9 Pro. All right, this is a really popular screen because we've got the air vent in here, so we're not completely blocking off our vent. Nice. 9-inch screen. Quick menus. You want to open passenger doors? Boom. 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 Look at that. All right, you want to move the seat? Check that out. Forwards. Backwards, 3 different UIs, dark mode, light mode, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, blind spot alerts, autopilot, FSD, nags. These screens keep getting better and better. We're going to get into everything here. First thing, quick unboxing. We'll go through a bunch of the menu items, all the different settings. We'll take it for a drive, all right? We'll see how it acts on the road. And then at the end, a full install on these screens. Really, this one is pretty easy. Model 3, Model Y, Juniper, Highland. All the links are below. Do not forget the discount code TESLAMARK. It will save you the most amount of money and works in all the best places. All right, let's get going. All right, let's check this out. And this box is tight. Instructions, which you don't need because you got me. 1-year warranty, nice. All right, the cabling, which we will get into. Little USB converter, we got our pry tool. Okay. The screen. Oh. Got some electric tape and a fish line. All right, that's pretty cool. Here's the screen. We've obviously got the protector on there. Looks nice and clean. We are going to leave this on until we're done installing it. Possibly speaker. Nice finish on there. So obviously this is a rather large screen, which is great. You know, we get to see a lot. However, it does block venting, all right? You can't have any kind of a screen right in front of your, right behind your steering wheel without blocking that vent a little bit. So this helps out by actually adding a vent. And you can see this will get inserted into the venting. It will clip onto the dash here, and we will be able to get some airflow through here. Now, I'm predicting that this is not going to flow as much air as if we did not have this screen in the way, but it is definitely going to be a lot more air than if we had nothing, if this was just completely blocked with the screen. All right, reset button, and then probably, you know, that's what this USB deal here is for. That will probably be for any type of software updates or anything like that. They have an option for a front camera, which is probably what this would be for. I do not have the front camera option, however. And then this is going to then plug into here, which is going to run all the way into the passenger footwell side to plug into the processor, the OBD port actually. And it's going to grab some power there too. So, all right, let's get this on the car. The install does not look very difficult here at all. So let's get to it. So aside from CarPlay Android Auto, people love that. One of the biggest really kind of complaints about the Model 3, Model Y is that without a screen here, you've got kind of wasted space. People are looking for a speedometer. They want to just be able to, you know, kind of just have it in their eye line. With this, but you know, with these cars, you have to like look off to the side. It's just a little weird. So that's what makes these screens like just a lot more attractive. They put them in the Model S, they put them in the Model X. Why don't we have them? Okay, well, now we do. All right, let's check this thing out. We're checking airflow. Let me set this to basically like try to blow it like right in my face. Okay, I've got the fan on 7, and you know, we've got way better airflow than if we just had a screen with no vent in there. But you know, when you compare it to over here, no, you're not getting the same volume of air. No matter what you do, this slit down here is just not going to pump out the same amount of air as the normal big vent. But it's a compromise, but it's pretty good. You know, it's a pretty good compromise. So if we switch, you know, go back to here where we've got these side vents going, these still work, you know, no problem. Any kind of screen you put in here is going to affect the airflow. There's just no two ways about it. Even the mini screens are going to affect the airflow a little bit. So the bigger the screen, the more it's going to affect the airflow. Again, however, this is pretty good. You know, it's pretty good that you've got something here. This is way better than nothing. That is for sure. Let's see what else we can set up here. We've got tire pressure that yeah, I need to drive around to get that to go. Oh, post startup. All right, so it's got some odometer action here. That's nice. And consumption, that's pretty good. All right, here you can connect to your home Wi-Fi and then you can do over-the-air updates. I am not going to do that here, but that is possible. Or you can do updates via the USB plug. They give you an adapter and there's a plug in the back there. Bluetooth connection, let's set that up. Okay, found the device here on my phone. Let's pair this. Okay, audio output, we're gonna go Bluetooth because I think the loudspeaker is going to be the speaker in here and that is not going to be great. We know that. Okay, Model 3 Highland, white, left display. We'll leave it on UI 1 for now, but we can change that. That's nice. Rainbow Road, we'll play with that. And then here are the updates. Okay, check it out. We have Android Auto set up. You know, periodically I look here on Android Auto for Waze and it just doesn't seem to be here. It hasn't been here in a long time. I don't know what the deal is with that. All right, so let's get out of there. Let's get back into here. That's Android Auto, basically. It functions the way it functions. You know, they don't really have much control over that. They just kind of have a screen to display it on here, which is pretty slick because that can free up your phone or whatever else you want to do. Battery preheat, not sure what's going on with this, but it does not want to stay on. AP, gonna be honest, I don't know what it does. All right, I just don't know what it does. Time, it'll put the time up here. Okay. SWC, that is steering wheel control. So when we get into the menus and things, you can use this right scroll button here to control your selections in the menus. This is for brightness. Right now it is, I believe it is set to auto, and then volume of the actual speaker within the screen here, which I'm not using. You can turn this off, touch the screen, turn it back on. Okay, and then swipe it and we're back. I accidentally opened the door there. Quick buttons. All right, you want to open passenger doors? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Look at that. All right, you want to move the seat? Check that out. Forwards, backwards. Let's look at the viewpoint. This is kind of a problem with the bigger screens and with having a normal steering wheel. So when I had a yoke in my previous Model 3, I gotta say it was awesome for screens because the steering wheel was just never blocking no matter where the screen was. Some of the screens are mounted to the steering column and that can actually be nice because it tended not to be blocked by this as much. The bigger screens, you know, the bigger the screen, the more it would be blocked. And in this case, my view right now is like this. Now I am taller, okay, and sometimes I like my steering wheel up a little bit higher or lower. And you know, if you are, yeah, this is typically where I like it. So this is kind of blocking this for me, no doubt about it. I would have to raise the steering wheel a little bit to see it well. Now other people may be a little bit shorter and, you know, they have more leeway. This steering wheel is down as far as it can go right now. And yeah, if you're just a little bit shorter, you won't have a problem at all. Or maybe you lean back or whatever. That is just what happens though with these screens. Okay, let's take this thing for a drive. All right, let's go. Turn signals. Ah, brake lights. Oh yeah, even on the display you can see the lights. Let's put half screen on and see what happens. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now we don't have to fill the whole screen up with Android Auto. We can still get our speed over here. I like that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, okay. So at first I thought this dial was the speed, but obviously it's not. That is the power and regen. You know, so now I'm on the accelerator, and here's where I let off, so you can see it's in regen. Yeah, so this seems to be real-time consumption. That graph is basically meaningless. Check out UI 3. Okay. All right, PSI is working. Okay, you see this? The warning light here telling you that your blind spot is occupied. Now watch this. If I turn my signal on, yeah, it's telling you don't go. Autopilot rainbow mode. There it is. Get your hands on the wheel. Once you get everything plugged in, I always advise just hooking this up, making sure that everything works. Way better than finding out after you've run all the cables all over the place that something is not working correctly. So we are good to go right now, so let's start running this cable. All right, just get a pry tool under here. The first time you ever take the dash off, it might be a little bit harder to get off than after you've had it off a couple times, like I have. But yeah, in general, it's not that big of a deal. Just kind of work your way over. Once you can kind of get under there like this, you just start popping it up all along the way. Usually it doesn't pop out completely like that, but this is actually an aftermarket full carbon fiber. Check the video out from that. I think I got this from Yeslac. Now we can run the cable. We are going to need to fish it. I'm going to figure out exactly where. Maybe from here over to here somewhere, but let me figure that out first. Yeah, that went pretty easy. The fish line, just put it in there. Had to look for it in there. It's pretty easy to get your hands in there and just kind of grab it, pull that through. So now I am going to tape this here to that and pull it through. See how easy this is to pull through. A little bit of snag there. If it had turned the other way, it would have gotten through easier. Okay, not so bad, not so bad. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of centering this bracket down here with the steering column, and I've got the bracket down. I'm just kind of pushing it back and down. All right, it's kind of good that it's fitting in there like firmly. That means it's not going to slip, and it actually lines up with this vent here all the way on the left. So, all right, that's good. So you can see where I laid the cable. Just make sure that it's not over one of the tabs, and you want this in a spot where it's not going to be bulky. You know, this perfect spot for it here. Just got to tape down a little bit. You don't want it bouncing around. This I need to, actually it's probably not going to bounce around, but you're not going to be using it, so it might be a good idea to tape that end down. And then put it through here, ran it down there. As you guys know, it comes out here, and then leave all the slack down here, and we're going to wrap all this up because there's enough space in there to tuck it in. You know, don't try to wrap all of that up here. You won't be able to put the dash down. I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand, but it is basically just kind of peeking under there, making sure you've got a couple of these tabs lined up, and then they will all line up. Then just push down. I gotta stretch over there, hang on. Now, you obviously just put a bunch of wires under there, so before you get nuts and start pounding this thing down, you know, just make sure you've got the clearance first. And then you might need to get a little bit forceful to get this down, but really it should come down and there should be good spacing all the way across. It should look just as it did before. Now let's clean all this up. Okay. You put this back, there's tabs that like here and here. Just got to kind of line them up. And just push this in like that. Make sure that this is going in here. Put that push tab back in. And then look under here. Make sure that these are lining up. Okay, good to go there. Just kind of look at where you've got these different tabs and everything. This you kind of have to get around there, up here. Line those up. Push that in, that should all be nice and level. And down here. Okay. Good to go, get your floor mat back in and you're set.